Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel. I want to be able to extend at this time such gratitude, such thanks for everyone who has subscribed to the channel and to all of my clients. You are amazing. It's been such a beautiful experience working with all of you and being able to do readings and clearings and activations and paranormal clearings, all kinds of things to help you on your ascension journey, your twin flame journey. I am just so overjoyed to be able to do this. And today's messages are going to be about November. And November is going to be a very profound month. And I have such an incredible message to share that I channeled, which really blew me away. I had to really double check to have it revalidated just to make sure, am I hearing this correctly? But it's sure enough what I heard. And it's really working off of something that I have heard previously, but I didn't really get the full scope, the detail of what that meant. And that's why I'm excited about sharing that. So please just take with you what resonates. If it does not resonate with you, then just leave it. If you are somewhat skeptical about it, which I definitely respect healthy skepticism, then check in with your higher self, check in with source, check in with your team, and see what you receive. I would love to know about that, and if you have any comments in regards to what you receive, if it's in sync with me, leave them down below. Love to hear. So, November. Remember when I shared the message pretty recently about the divine saying now is the time for twin flames, and that the divine was clearing karma, right? Clearing karma. I actually had one of my clients receive it on the same day. I had other people chime in saying they received the same message. It was pretty amazing. Well, we are going to be working off of that. There is something that is massive going on now, that it's a divine undertaking here. And it really does show just how much support the Ascension Collective has, the Twin Flame Ascension Collective has. Before I get into that, please, I feel like I need to say this to some people. Don't get caught up in the labels of things, because a lot of times the labels will just really block you. We don't want to get attached to labels. This is not a cult-like situation. This is an experience of awakening and remembrance and knowing and divine partnership, progressing on the spiritual path. This has nothing to do with, culty-like teaching or behavior or concept or anything like that. With that being said, yes, I'm using the words twin flames, but just keep that in mind. But I received for November that not only, all right, just stay with me here, this is pretty big. Not only is the divine talking about clearing karma, but they said, quote unquote, we have removed all karmic bindings. All karmic bindings. They dissolved all of them. They said, quote unquote, that there's been a mass removal of all karmic bonds. Okay, all karmic bonds. And that future timeline access has been retrieved. And when I sat there after hearing that, and I thought about just how monumental that was, and how miraculous it was too, I was like, wow. So the divine is saying here that they have just dissolved anywhere where there has been karmic cords, threads, hooks, dissolved all permissions given for those, all permissions given, contracts, vows, all of that have been connected to the loops of karma. The divine took their divine will, right, and triumphed over our free will in this miraculous mass undertaking and said, hey, we're going to pardon all of it now. because that's how urgent it is on this planet that we have people of the light be unified and bring their service. And it's incredible because I just think about the work that I've been doing, the things that have been coming up about, okay, we got to cut these cords. They come from karma, they're karmic cords, they're karmic tyings. Okay, this has been karmic attack. Okay, this has been karmic disease and illness and all these things. And the divine now is saying, yeah, no more. There's no more of that. We really are calling in twin flames at this time. Now is the time. And this is that miraculous kind of event where you just go, huh? It did really trigger my skepticism, and I have a healthy skepticism, and I think it's always good if you have that balance there of a healthy skepticism. So I had to really say to myself, okay, let me re-clarify that. Let me re-clarify it. Let me ask it in a different way. And sure enough, that's what I kept getting. So I would love to know what you're getting. So the 1111 gateway coming up for November is significant when it comes to having breakthroughs, right? The 1111 is a gateway, right? It's a gateway. It's a gateway in consciousness and clarity. So the message also is for November that you're going to be coming into a continuation of greater clarity. The brain or the networking going on in there, it's all going to be clearing out, third eye, pineal, clearing, activating, so that way you're coming into even more greater clarity. So this is the higher self, really in alignment with the really divine mind, we'll say, in sync with higher mind. But yes, you are aligning with your higher self, that is for sure. Pretty amazing. Okay, I've also got assisting with the retrieval of unnecessary energies. So many of you are going to be experiencing more of your abilities. Okay, so as we go through these crazy upgrades, I mean, the eclipses were outrageous. The emotional upheaval, the angers, the resentments, the conflict, some rage coming out. I mean, it was just really rocky, right? I know you guys have been experiencing that. But when we go through such a shift, we are upgrading into more of the remembrance of who we are. And that's going to be including having more awareness and access to our different powers, our different abilities, our talents, our gifts. A greater clarity of why we're here. What is our true calling? What is our true service? And if we believe we have been of service, perhaps there's more. Perhaps there's more to do, more you can give, more where you can make changes that really do have such a mass appeal, that have a really positive impact on humanity, where humanity really needs that from you. And I can tell you just from my standpoint that I have been guided to offer more to my clients. So I have yet another service that I'm going to be offering. I mean, that service, it's not exactly new, but the way that I'm going to be doing it is pretty new, and I will be sharing that soon. But I do see that so many of you purchased the bloodline clearing, the light language bloodline clearing, and that's fantastic. I mean, that's going to help so much. And now that the divine has dissolved all these karmic bonds, including where there's been lower karmic cords with family members, that is just going to make it so much easier to be able to just clear all of these different things out. Emotions, mental energy, emotional energy, programming, all of that. So I'm glad that you guys really took to that. I feel just so much more committed to what I do. So this is also going to be in the message for November, is you are going to feel so much more committed to your purpose, so much more committed to being of service. What can I do? Is there anything more that I can do to be the light in this world? And if you haven't been doing that, perhaps you have been struggling, or there's just been distortions with your work, your mission, then I know that you will be connecting now to knowledge about that. guidance about that where you can make certain changes. And that will be really, really good for you. But there's definitely going to be that stepping into your power, having more clarity, having more consciousness, where you will be very, very aware if you are, say, out of alignment, and you're just going to catch it quicker. That's really what it is. You're going to catch it quicker, and you're going to know, okay, this is not serving me. These thoughts are not serving me. Me reacting in this way is not serving. You'll catch yourself. You'll understand where, okay, I can make the choice to react or the choice to not react. That will be more apparent to you. That's all a part of you becoming more conscious and really integrating that consciousness. So there's a continuation of that in November for sure. The cords of love. So those are going to be strengthening. So as all of this karmic cording, these karmic bonds are all dissolved, that includes karmic partners, it includes lower karmic bonds with family members, anywhere where there's lower karmic connection to past lifetimes, and all sorts of ways. You are going to be releasing a lot. I know you've been doing that with the eclipses, because those certainly help, that's for sure. But there's a lot now that is freeing. You are being freed by the divine. That's what this huge mass removal is really doing. It's freeing the collective of light. And that's fantastic. But this is also happening as far as on Earth with Gaia and karma. That's completely now dissolved here on the planet as well. So karmic grid, no more. But it's about now purging out all this volatility, all this violence, all this hatred. There's a lot of stuff now it's eruption after eruption after eruption. It's pretty crazy. You're feeling at the individual level, but you're also feeling the stuff of the lower collective, because it's also happening on the entire planet. So there's a continuation of this going on. It really feels very much like, okay, here's all this darkness, and here are these people who are in the dark, and then here's these people who are really stepping into the light. It really, you can feel that, right? Light and dark. It's strange times, but it's to also realize that we are so supportive. The people of light are so supportive of this whole ascension process, both on the individual level and, with the entire earth. It's very, very supportive for the divine to come in and say, hey, we're going to pardon all of this now. Okay, game over. Pardoning it. Now just release it out, because you have no more tying to those cycles anymore. It's really, I was pretty shocked when I received that. I was a little skeptical, I must add. I was like, wow, so does that mean that? That means that? So then if that created the karma, then you're saying that's no more? And then, no, it's all dissolved. Now it's just about releasing. Anything else that is there? Well, strengthening the bonds of love, that's coming in. The bonds of love with your beloved, your twin flame. So yes, of course, that you'll be feeling them a lot more. Strengthening that cord that can never be cut or broken, no matter how triggered you are, that cannot be cut. I know many of you have gotten disgusted and tried to cut the cord thinking, okay, this person's just toxic for me and I have a right to cut it, and it doesn't work, right? And it's really about healing the trauma bonding that's going on there with the twin, but realizing that cord of love cannot be severed. So it's going to be about strengthening that cord, that truth, and strengthening all the bonds of love with family, with friends, all the different ways in which we experience love, the bonds of love. And this is a perfect message going into the holiday season, to strengthen those cords. To have those lower cords dissolved by the divine is a beautiful gift for this holiday season, really. Honestly, it's really just I think of it as one of the best gifts that I could possibly receive. Strengthening. So what can you do to strengthen those bonds of love? Even with yourself, what can you do to love yourself more, to strengthen that? What can you do to bring in more forgiveness? Forgive yourself, release guilt, regrets, judgment, blame, anything you're putting on yourself, you're carrying. Are you carrying other people's stuff, other people's burdens? It's becoming aware of that, conscious of that, releasing that, and strengthening those bonds with everyone, so that, you know, it's helping. It's helping. You're doing your part. It's helping the earth at this time that needs that. Is there any place where you can bring in more love, more forgiveness with a family member, with a friend, perhaps? There's been an intimate partnership, a breakup, a divorce, even if it was a long time ago, if it was years ago, if it was a year ago, if it was a couple of months ago, if it just happened, whatever it was, can you bring in forgiveness there? Can you bring in love into there? Even if that person no longer serves you in that way, it's knowing that you took the wisdom and the knowledge from that connection, what you learned, and that is also a gift. All right. But when you go through even experiences like that and heartbreak, you know, we want to strengthen where we have the bonds of love. So, you know, sometimes when people go through things like that, heartbreak, they'll blame themselves, right? Or they'll blame the other person, or they're, right? And all these things. What can you do to really just clear all of that out, cleanse all of that out, bring more love in where that will be helpful? So just some things to think about there. But strengthening the cords of love as the divine is clearing out all of those lower cords for us. So that way we are not caught in those lower cycles of karma anymore. So it's really the main theme for November here. Twin flames, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about. This is helping in every single way, whether you have communication with your twin right now, you don't have communication, maybe it's telepathic. As crazy as that is, it's there. The emotional telepathy, the mental telepathy, all of that is there. If you're not having the physical manifestation of that yet, or that you've been in that separation period, do not worry, because this mass removal of these karmic bindings are really shifting up everything. They're changing up everything. And it's about just staying very, very present and just trusting divine timing with this. It's about divine timing, right? And what can you do to strengthen those cords of love with yourself, with people around you? And where can you lend that love and that compassion to your twin flame? Where can you lend that forgiveness towards yourself, forgiveness towards them? That's all going to really support these processes greatly. So just remember that during 11/11, that will help you out a lot if you're struggling at this time. So I am here for you, and if you would like to work with me, I am offering everything. I mean, when I say everything, I mean everything. I offer 1-hour readings, that's channeling, that's mediumship, speaking to your highest team of light. I have all the clairs. We can really sit with them and get detailed information as to where you are on the path, what's going on in your twin flame journey, what type of abilities you have, how can you be more of service, anything. How can you protect yourself more? I mean, we can literally channel all of that, okay, all of the above. And it's going to be, of course, for them to bring in whatever is going to be priority for you at that time. I offer all different types of clearing sessions. So, of course, I have my spirit extraction session. If you are having paranormal attack or attachments or anything like that, that's case-to-case basis. I have to check into each case, see if I'm guided to work with you. and I will let you know, and then we can do that, set that up. And then I offer all different types of light language sessions. So the new bloodline clearing light language, a lot of people have signed up for. I am just so overwhelmed with joy. I mean, honestly, because it really, it's amazing, you know, that people are benefiting from these sessions, you know. It's not, yeah, I make the money, and it's not about the money. It's really about the fact that people are being helped, and that means so much to me. It really, really does. I'm very genuine about that. So I'm so glad that I'm hearing great feedback with that. The different light languages that I'm offering have to do with clearing the bloodlines, elevating them into light, and then I also have a twin flame light language. That twin flame light language can help to clear all kinds of various subjects. And so that one is really an important one if you have not purchased that one yet. And then I also have the individual light languages. I could really do light language in all sorts of ways. So it's just about what's going to be best for you. And the only way of doing that is contacting me. We can have a reading first, and we'll figure out what it is that's going to be benefiting you. Okay? So thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Have a happy November, happy Thanksgiving for those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving. And remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light, brightest blessings. And I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.